Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well, and thank you for tuning in to another Kuthban stream. So, if you don't already know, I'm Muhammad bin Noman. I am the lead game designer of the game Kuthban, and with me today we have Pania San, who will be go overing some cool UI stuff, some cool UI programming. And without further ado, I give it over to you, Pania.
Yes, thank you, Muhammad. So as I previously showed in the previous stream, uh, I showed the basic UIs and UX elements of the Kuthban game. And today I will go over the elements in more detail. And as you can see in the share screen, this is the uh, user interface for our game. Today I will focus mainly on the card selection menu because I think this is an important part of the game. So I want to show this menu in more detail. So just as a reminder, the main focus of this UI is to allow users to come and select the cards that they want. And the UI elements in this menu is pretty simple. So I have the home button that brings the users to the main menu, and the previous and next buttons that allows user to go to all the available cards in the game, and also have the play, which allows the user to play the game, and also the tracks which go back to the track selection. So as I said, I will not focus on the home or the track selection menu, but I will focus on the card selection menu because this menu needed to be implemented for all the games, for all the different levels of the game. For instance, this is the first level, so it is in this environment. But recently, Muhammad created another level, which is called the desert level. So let me show you another level. So when we have new level, we need to implement the same user interface for the users so that the users can also select the cards to play in this new level. I created two prefabs, these two main prefabs that are basically used for this card selection menu. And I make this in a way that I will be able to just drag and drop these prefabs into any scene. So it's like it is easy for me to add this new add this card selection menu into any scene. But still, it is still tedious for me because every time there is a new level, I need to add these two prefabs into the new level. Although it seems it's not that difficult, but I still need to change the camera angle and change the location where I want to place the cars and where I want this menu to happen. So today I want to create another scene, and that scene is basically for car selection. So no matter how many scenes, no matter how many levels there are, the users will go through this car selection scene in order to select the car. And when the users uh, go through this scene, they don't need to select the car in the main scene. So this is what I will do for today. So I will show you the process of what I do. So Muhammad also created let me created a scene for me, which is called car selection scene. So basically, in this scene, it's like a garage for the users to come and select different car. So I think it is pretty convenient to have this scene mainly for car selection. So I don't need to like implement this uh, interface every time Muhammad added another new level. So this is what I'm going to do today. And like I said, because I already have the prefabs for the car selection menu, so I go to the prefabs where I store those two prefabs and just drag and drop these two prefabs into this scene. And I know that this won't work immediately because there are like things I need to change. So let me just run this for now. This is what I like to do because I want to see what happens when I do that. Basically, this nothing happens, but I just like see what works and what doesn't work. And let me see at the console. Oh, there's not many errors. So just that. Okay. See, this is another no reference exception. So it means that something is missing or something is gonna be referenced. So let me go to the prefabs and let me explain like the basis of these two prefabs. So I have the first prefab is I call all car selection UI because although it's just one prefab, I have like a lot of things in this prefab. So I have like the car camera, the um, the manager for the how the car is selected, and all the elements that just put together in this one prefab. So I can just uh, drag and drop it. But the thing is, because I put so many things into this one prefab, everything links together. So I need to know exactly where to like start. So let me go back to the reference. Let me see the problem is. So I think it will load Visual Studio. Yeah, so it's loading. Okay, so that is for the first prefab. So for the second prefab, it's much simpler because for this one, it just contains all the cars that are available for selection. So for now, I think I just need to focus on the first prefab in order to fix this error. Okay, so it's not opening. Okay, so it's loading. And another thing that I know I need to fix is the location of the camera because depends on where I place this prefab, the camera might not be at the correct location. So in this case, I think I want the camera to be somewhere here. So okay, so I want the camera to be somewhere here, and then I would have the cars to be somewhere inside the garage so that it seems like the users are selecting the cars from the garage itself. But for now, let me see if the code is opened. Okay, so it's opened. So it's at line 76. Oh, I see. So let me just basically explain the error is because in this code, I use the method find game object.find because I assume that for every scene, I will have this basic game object like camera, car selection camera, and car and these elements. Instead of drag and drop this game object into this variable, I just want to find these objects and just assign them to the variable. So I don't need to do any drag and drop. And you see, the benefit of this is I don't need to do the drag and drop, but if there are no game objects with this name like camera, and I assume that there's no game object, but it's in this case it's called main camera. So I think I just need to change this from main camera to camera. So it shouldn't be a big problem. So I will just change this to camera for now. And let me run this again. I'm expecting more errors, but let's see. Let's see for now. And after this, I will change the position of the camera and so that okay. So wow. Okay, so oh, it's working. That's cool. So see, I have the car rotating and but the buttons are not working now. So, but at least we can see that the prefabs are working. So I think for now, I just need to change the location. So let me see where the camera is. So it's right here. So that's why it's somewhere in space, in this Unity space. But as you can see, the the garage is like somewhere else. So let me change the location of this the platform and the car to the correct location. So let me go back to the garage, and I want the camera to be here. So let me try to get a better look at this. So I want it to be here. So I think if I just create like a cube, okay, and this is just for the position dummy. That's what we call it, because I just use it to know where I want my camera to be. So let me reset this to 0, 0. Okay, where is this now? Wow. Okay, that's what okay. So I will go back to the prefab of this whole thing, and I will just copy the location. So the transform, which is the location of this, and then just paste it here. Okay, see, so it's very close to what I want. So I have the cube here. So I want the camera to be around here. So this is what seems like a good location for the camera. Okay. Okay. So let me copy this location, transform component, and then paste into the car selection camera. So this one is the camera for the to show which car you are looking at. So it's basically the camera for the car selection. So let me paste the comment value. So here, so it should be. I see. So it doesn't work because the car selection camera is inside this prefab. So in order to change that, I need to basically set this, just change this one, change the transform location of this one, which is the main prefabs or the parent prefabs of the camera, and then set this to 0. Yep. So if I select the camera, yeah, so it should be here, right? So the camera is here. So I think the camera is facing the outside, so it's not the right angle. So I will do the rotation. So I think it's Y 180. Yep. So it's 180. So I got the camera for. I think I got the camera to where I want. So now I will also change the location of the where the car holder is, which is basically where the car will be seen. So I will change the location. Let me say, I will change the location of where the cars will spawn when the game is played. So I will copy the transform location of the dummy position dummy, and then paste it with to this here, this component. Yep. So so it should be here. So, but then because I want the car to be in front of the camera, so it should be here. Okay. Let's see what happens after these changes. Will it work? Okay, so here, so yes, so yeah, so it's working. That's really good. It should it usually takes a lot like testing, but now it seems to work. So that's really good. So okay, so but you see the buttons are not working for now. So I will fix that later. So I will for now I will focus on putting the cars in the correct location first. So I think let me run it again. I think I want the cars to be closer to the camera so it appears larger. Okay, so it's a bit too small. I think the car is a bit too far from the camera. So I think let me select the car holder and then let me move it closer to the camera. Okay, 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 that's good. Maybe I could also change the location of the camera as well, but for now I will play with the car holder itself. Okay, I think that looks really good for this car, but I don't know what it looks like for the other car. But let's me copy this the location of the car holder because when you play when Unity is in game mode, you cannot save the changes. So you need to copy the component values and then stop the game from running and then paste the new component values to the car holder. Okay, I think it should look much better now. It should look much closer to the camera now. Yeah, my PC is running slow, but I think it should run soon. Okay, yes. Okay, that's looks good. I also could play with the camera, so but let me like maybe lower the camera. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think this looks good. So the camera is more level with the car itself, not too low. So I will again copy this new components value for the transform and then stop the game from running and paste these new values to the uh, the car selection camera. I think that should be good. And just let me see it one more time. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I do. Like when I try to fix something, I change the value and then run the game to see what the change look like. So I think that looks pretty decent to me. And I really want the buttons to work so I can see what the other cars look like in this new environment. So let me fix the buttons. So the buttons are not working. So I think one of the issue could be there is no event system. So yeah, so it doesn't detect the clicking, the interaction with the user interface. So let me add this and let's see whether it will fix the problem. Hopefully it works because I think I encountered this problem before when I drag and drop these prefabs into other scenes. So let me see. Yeah, so yeah, that's the problem. So now it's working. So as you can see, this one is seems like a bit too small in comparison to the yellow Jeep, the yellow car. So I think I might, um, yeah, I think I might change the location of the individual kite segments. So instead of changing the location of the car holder, which is the parent game object that contains all the car, I might go to each individual car and change its location, so it could make things look much better, because the cars have different size. So if I just have like the same location for all the cars, uh, the size, like, yeah, there will be a problem with the size perceived through the camera. So for this one, because the car seems a bit too small, I will go to the car itself. Okay, and then move it closer to the camera. Yeah, so it's appear like, yeah, I think it appear at a more normal size. I think the previous size is a bit too small for the car. So I think that looks good. It looks better. So I will copy the component values of this. Okay, copy components. I pause a bit because I think the only things that matter is the x and the z um, values, because the y value shouldn't be affected, because it's at the same floor level. So I think I will just keep I will keep the when I paste the value, I think I will just keep the, yeah, so I will keep the y value the same. So it's 0. So I will paste the values, and then I will just change this back to 0 again, because I think it shouldn't matter. Only the x and the y should change how far the car is from the main camera. So let me run it again and see what happens. Yeah, so it's a bit slow, so let's wait while it's running. I hope, yeah, I think it's freezing. So I couldn't, okay, so it's working now. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like at a much more similar size. Okay. It looks decent. So I will do the same for this one. So I will move this one closer to the camera as well. I think this is a decent size for the car. So yeah, I'm waiting for the rotation, because depending on at which angle the car is during its rotation, the size could be different. So I think this is like a good size, all like for all the angles of rotation. So I think I will copy these values and paste it for this one as well. And I just keep the value should be the same. So I just change the other x and y and just put this to 0. I also can change back the location, the rotation to 0, 0 as well. I don't think it's matter that much, because the car is rotating, so it doesn't matter where the car rotation angle is. So just put back to 0 just for this one. So I don't think it matters. So let me go this one. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let me run it, and then it's the family car preset. So I need to do this for all the cars. So I want to make sure that they all looked decent during the car selection. So we are done with the first one, the second one, and the third one. So I will go to the fourth one. I mean, I think this one is okay. I don't think I really need to change it. So let me see the other one. This one is a big one. Yeah, I think this one also looks fine. I mean, I could change the location, but I don't think it's needed to be changed. Okay, okay. Yes, this is, I think this is the things that because this is like the largest car that we have. So for this one, I use like a different camera. I call it the big car selection camera. So as you can see, because I use a different camera, it's not at the same location as the this one, as the previous camera. So if I go back, so this is where the camera for the normal, like the normal size cars is. So I think I need to change this big car selection camera to the location of the normal car selection camera. So let me show you what I mean. So I will copy the location of this uh, camera and then paste here for now. So let me explain again. So I use a different camera for, I call this the big car selection camera because this camera is only used for like very large um, car, because it's really hard to like to change the location of the car, because even if you change the location of the big car, it doesn't really uh, matter that much. So you need to actually move the camera back itself, so it gives more space and makes the big car look like like the normal size car. So that's why I use like a different camera for the very big car. So for now, the the normal size, the camera for the normal size cars is at the same location as the camera for the big car. So let me run this, and then I will adjust the camera when the game is running. So it's much easier to do adjustment when the game is actually running, to like to see what like the changes look like. Okay, so here is what I mean. So I will so this is the this big camera, the camera for the big car is running. So I think I will just move it back a bit to give more space, and I will put this like yeah. Okay, I think this looks good. Yeah. Okay, this looks decent. Okay, so I will save the location for this camera. Yeah, and another reason for using a different camera for this for this big car, because if I change, if I use the same camera for the cars, it's not really working, because the distance of the camera for this camera is only working for this big car. So if I use this camera to show the other cars will look really small. So I think it's better to use a different camera for this very different size car. So I think I recopy the new values. So I will paste the new values for this camera. Okay. Okay, let's see again. And because we cannot have like two multiple cameras active at the same time. So when the first camera is active, the second camera is not active. And when this second camera, the camera for the big car selection is active, the first one is not active. So you will see when the game is running. So this is so it's not active, as you can see. So when I go through the cars, okay, so it looks good. Then okay, and then so now the second camera is active, and the first camera is not active. Let me see if there are any errors. Wow, there's no errors. Just wow. Okay, that's good. And okay, this is another one, and this one, because this is just a like regular size car, the second camera is not active, so the first one is active. And I think the size is really decent. I don't think I need to change like the location of the camera. Okay, cool. The cars are a bit bouncy, so I think the problem is I need to change the location of the platform. So let me see. So I have this platform, which is basically like a collider that triggers when the car because the car is not at first. It's not. Let me show you some. So at first, okay, this is not a good example. Okay, so at first the car is not at the ground level, so it's like in the air, and then it drops to the floor. So I have this platform that detects when the car hits the floor. So when it hits the floor, I will uh, disable all the physics, so the car is just like an object for display. So for now, I don't want the car to bounce because there are some issues that they are facing. That's what okay, there are some issues that we were facing. That's why we decided to disable all the physics when during the car selection display. So I will move this platform back to below the car. So this is the platform. So the location should be like very similar to the location of the car holder. So we'll copy the component values of the car holder transform and then paste to the car holder to the platform. So we'll paste it here, paste the component values, and okay, something. Okay, let me do it again. So so the instead let me go back to the platform again. This is a platform, so I will copy the transform locations of the main sim, which is the garage itself, and then let me copy the location that we defined by the transform, and then paste it to. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I forgot about this again. So platform is inside the prefab and inside this prefab. So I think it's better if I copy the location of the camera. It's closer to where I want. So if I copy the transform location of the camera and then paste it to the platform. But I just want the the position. So I just copy it's 0, so it's not that. So just set it to 0, then 0 and 0. And y is 1.38. I do this. I because I only want to change the position, so I don't. So I do not like. I did not copy the whole component value. So just plug in the position. Yeah. So here. So yeah. So now the platform is inside the garage. Okay. So it should be on the ground floor. Yeah, that yeah, that's about it. Maybe a bit lower. I think I need to also do some rotation because I don't think the platform is flat because I think I did some. So let me change this back to 0. There's no rotation. Okay, that's better. So it should be flat on the ground now. Yeah. Okay, my mouse is working. Okay. Okay, that looks good. So again, the purpose of the platform is just to disable the rigid body. So I just disable the physics of the cars during the car selection, so it looks better and it doesn't and it fixed the issues that we were facing before we added the platform. So let me run the game again and see whether the cars are still bouncing or not. And for testing, the platform is visible, but during the game, the platform is not visible because it's not part of the display. It's just there to detect some collision. It's just there to like to to perform the task of collision. Yeah. So now the cars are not bouncing because every time the the cars collide with the platform, I added the rigid body so it's kinematic, so it doesn't uh, it's not affected by the physics of gravity or any other physics. So it just stay there just for display for now. And later on, I will change back to like normal because during the gameplay, uh, the physics must be in order for the car mechanics to be function properly. So yeah, so now the car is nice, but there's something wrong with this one. Okay. So let me see what the problem is. So it doesn't seem like the truck is hitting the platform. So let me see where the collision is happening. So
Yeah,
see, it
while
seems
Panya tries to figure this out, I just want to add like this is how like game development is done. Like all this fiddling around with the tools and mechanics and stuff. This is how usually it's done. Like Panya is showing you a very realistic portrait of how everything is being done. All of this fiddling around with the mechanics, slightly tweaking stuff. This is how it actually is done. So I think this is a pretty great example of like real time game development.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a lot of testings and debugging and seeing what works and what doesn't work, and then trying to fix it. Yeah, see, because this one this car is like very different from the rest of the car, so a lot of this like kind of issue occurs. So let me see what's wrong with this. So let me disable the platform first, And then let me run this again and see if this happens when the platform is disabled. Usually it doesn't. Yeah, usually. Yeah, I don't think there is an issue when the platform is not there, but let's see what happens first. So then after that, let's debug the problem. I think the problem is because of the large size of the truck. There's some problem with the like how the objects are detecting collision. So let's see first. So it will go all the way to the big truck because the only different one. Okay, wait, is it freezing? I don't think so. Okay, okay. Now there's some. Okay, yeah, I think I should look at the console first before I try to debug. So okay, there's a lot of errors. There's 10 errors. So let me run this again and see the first error and fix from that. So let me run it again. Yeah. Okay, so this the problem with another reference is line 71 in the code. So 71. Platform. Did you define? So it seems like the script couldn't find the platform. Okay, because I disabled the, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I disabled the platform, okay. Yeah, that's kind of stupid of me. So, okay, so this shouldn't, okay, so this shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, put this back in. Okay, now additional error. Okay, okay. Again, yeah. So, okay, so now this we see that there's no errors with the code. So the problem must be with the track itself. So let me select the object. I can see that when I, okay, enable the, I see, I think I know what the problem is. I think the the truck detects the platform because this is a big truck. Some part of the truck must detect the platform first. That's why it's stuck mid-air, because as soon as the car hits the platform, all the physics is disabled. That's why it looks like it's stuck in the air. So let me see the collision of this truck. Wow. Okay. I think I know what to. I think let me lower the platform for this one. So I want to see what happens when I lower the platform. Oh yeah, okay. Let me lower the platform. Yeah, during debugging, there's like a lot of like testing. So I do a lot of things during this part of the coding or this part of the implementation. So because I lowered the platform, the cars do not detect the platform, so the car physics are back. So that's why you can see like the cars are bouncing. So yeah, so like so it looks fun when the cars when this one platform because the truck is actually reaching the floor. So I think I need to maybe lower the platform a bit. To be honest, this is not like the main issue. I think if this doesn't fix it, I think I can fix it later because I don't think it's like the main issue that we need to focus on. Okay, so let me lower this a bit. Okay, so let me I try to make it as ground level as possible. I think which is good. Okay, let me run it again. Maybe maybe this wouldn't solve the problem because I did not make a big change, but I think it could work because if I lower the platform, then maybe the the collision, the problem with the collision could be avoided. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, so everything is yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, Panya just giving a heads up. I think we just have 2-3 minutes left in the stream.
Okay, I think I can. Yeah, I think I will ignore this issue for now. So okay, so I think the rest looks good. So now I can remove the mesh renderer of the the platform. So when I play the game, when I have the game running, everything looks much better without the platform. And also will disable the this dummy cube that you see here. Okay, it's freezing, so I couldn't zoom in the scene. So let's wait until it's running. Yeah, okay. See, so even though the platform is not visible, it's still they just like remove the mesh rendering of the platform. Yeah, it looks decent. I think yeah, it looks really good. Except the big truck one that I need to try to figure out what's wrong. Yeah, I think yeah, that's basically like what implementing and debugging looks like. It's a lot of testing and like running different ideas that you have in mind and see what works, what doesn't work. And like this one, it might take like a while. It could be like a very simple uh, error that I'm not looking at. So maybe under this limited time, I wouldn't be able to fix it now. But after a while, I will like look at the code again. I look at the setting again, and then see that it's just a minor error. Yeah. So everything is working. So we have the car selection menu here. And you can see like the beauty of using prefabs like this, because like so you just need to drag and drop it, and then just change the location of the cars and the location of the camera, and it works. And I can like always do this with like other scenes as well. So that's why I chose to do it this way. And yeah, and I want to point out another one more thing is like, because this is like a group project. When I like to use this a lot, because then when I committed this to the when I committed my changes to the project, Muhammad doesn't need to like find the objects to like put in for the game to work. You just need to like drag and drop these two prefabs, and then everything should be working fine. Yeah, I think that is from us today. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you like learn what the process of implementing UI is like. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Panya, for the stream. Like very good insights into debugging and programming of the AI. Like thank you very much. And I hope everyone who tuned in for the stream learned a lot.
Thank you.